Big news, fellow gardeners, concerning our live podcast recording show on Wednesday the 20th of May at the Stand Comedy Club in Glasgow. Our guests have been confirmed. Delighted to say we have up-and-coming comic Eva Peroni, who is absolutely sensational. Comedian, writer, performer, viral sensation Paul Black, and our first returning guest in the legendary Tom Stade. It's going to be an incredible night. Please come along if you can. Bring your own little dead flower stories. We'll discuss some of them from the stage with our guests. Wednesday, the 20th of May. It's going to be great.
Stop watering dead flowers.
Delighted to say, in the garden this week, we have the wonderful Zara Gladman. How are you, Zara?
I'm good. I'm a bit tired, but I'm happy to be here.
Now, you'll be tired because, as we're recording this, we've just come to the end of the Glasgow Comedy Festival.
We have.
Or the Glasgow International Comedy Festival, to give it its full swanky name. And you had a great festival, very busy one.
I did. I did my shows right at the beginning, so I did the same show twice in one night.
Nice.
Double done. And I did it in the South Side.
Right. Wow.
I was doing my West End character, and I thought it'd be funny
to do
go
it. Enemy
for
territory.
The bit to do it in the South Side. So it was a good laugh.
Yeah.
But I did it right at the beginning, and then at the rest of the festival, I mostly just went to see stuff.
Right.
And just drank a lot and ate a lot, and I feel disgusting.
This will be awful if I ask this question and then you feel like put on the spot. You'll be like, oh no, was there anything in particular you saw that you loved?
Sam Nicoresti was amazing.
Oh wow.
So good. So yeah, strong recommend if you ever get the chance to see her. She is fucking awesome.
Wow. Well, that was actually an easy one.
Yeah, no, I was like,
it was so good.
It was one of the first things I saw, and I was like, whoa, this is incredible.
Where was her show on?
It was at the Old Hairdressers.
Oh yeah, it's cool. There's loads of cool people in there.
Yeah,
good place to try stuff and do stuff, and
I like it in there. Yeah, Sophie Rose McCabe had a show in there as well on Saturday. It's just a nice kind of, not too pressured. It's not too big. It's quite intimate.
Yeah, great. It's funny with the Glasgow Comedy Festival because I love it. Like I feel like it's the best thing usually to only have to do your show one or two times as well. And it's always bizarre to me that sometimes people still don't know what happens. Like I'll tell people and they're like, there's a Glasgow Comedy Festival. I'm like, yeah, it's amazing.
I know, and I think it's definitely got more visibility the past few years.
Big time, yeah.
Because it was taken over, wasn't it? Like
yes,
a wee while ago.
I think someone told me it's actually the biggest comedy festival in the world.
Yeah, because the Fringe isn't a comedy festival. Yeah.
Arts festival. But in terms of actual number of comedy shows, this is
the biggest.
So there you have it.
That's why we're so tired.
And the Glasgow Comedy Festival, you were along at the big gala as well.
That was yesterday.
That was yesterday. And if you're listening to this about a month ago.
Yes, it was a month ago.
But the memories
are fresh.
And
shout out Amanda Dwyer.
Yeah, was that in a kind of exciting way? Was there any kind of indication of who? Did anyone have like an idea of who might win?
Not really. I mean, I was really excited by the shortlist because
I should mention that we're talking about the Sir Billy Connolly Spirit of Glasgow Award that Zara was nominated for, and it was just this. It was a kind of great lineup of it was kind of a female strong lineup, and then Chris Conway, producer, yourself, Kate Hammer, Amanda Dwyer, and was there two others, or was there?
So it was Kim Blythe,
of course,
Amanda, Susan, Kate Hammer,
nice,
Chris, and me. So it was just such, because they're all lovely people, which is kind of the point of the award. The award's about comedy, but I think it's just about being a good cunt.
Yeah.
Basically,
that's what they should call it.
That good cunt. The good cunt 2026 went to Amanda Dwyer. So well done, Amanda.
That is good. That would be a good name.
Yeah.
Was there a fear or trepidation because you I'm sure you might have seen or heard as well, like there was a year that at the Oscars where it was like, I'm sure there was like all female directors and then one male director nominated, and then he won, and everyone was like, what if Chris Conway wins it?
I think the optics on that might not have looked might have been stacked a wee bit against him there, just for how that might have looked. But it didn't happen this year.
Did I see that you were wearing a Free Susan t-shirt?
Yeah, I had
Susan
to make a
Riddle.
statement.
Big shout out to Susan again.
I think I'm going to start doing her merch. She's not got her act together. And she's in the house all the time. She's got time to come on, sort it out, Susan. But yeah, I got that. 20 quid that cost me. So, you know.
Wow. Before we delve into the format of the podcast, can I ask you a little bit about the West End mum stuff and Eileen? And is it something that, because it's such a kind of everyday character in this area, is it something that people will come up to quite a lot about, or like be like, oh, West End mum, or does that happen a lot? Because you live in the area that you're...
Yeah, I work in the West End as well. Right. I'm basically always in this kind of quarter-mile radius. I have genuine West End mums come up to me, like, oh, you're just like us, or you know, or they'll come to my shows as well, which was funny during the Fringe, because I did the Fringe for the first time this year, and I did it with Monkey Barrel in the Hive, which is a student dive
I did
bar.
It a few years. But stinking,
it's
very opposite of West End.
Well, that's why it was funny, because it was like a lot of my audience were like those kind of women, and I was forcing them to come into this dive where I don't even think they had toilet seats. So it worked very well for the contrast.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get a mix of people that are West End mums, or just people that are, find that character very funny, or they're like, oh, I live next to someone like that, or I've got an auntie like that, or whatever.
And had you done, I mean, because it seems like you're a natural performer when you're doing these things as well. And had you done like acting, comedy stuff before, or was it that idea that just seemed to go wild and you're built on it and have been able to do loads of other...
Never done any acting or anything like that. I've done little bits online, and I did in a past life. We'll get onto the regrets a bit later, but I did do like comedy years and years ago, and then I stopped doing it for like almost a decade.
Oh, really? Yeah. So
I'd done little bits of performing, but never character stuff.
Right.
And never live. So that's been a whole new thing.
Yeah.
So it's nice to meet another character comedian.
Sometimes sometimes people might debate that, certainly the word comedian, but yes, it's good, isn't it? I think it's good for people to try all sorts of different things, and it's hard. I mean, of course, with the whole Saturday Night Live UK coming back, it's kind of nice to see sketch comedy trying to get another thing. And I mean, really, since Chewing the Fat, there's been a couple of things that nearly went but haven't lasted long. And we had a sketch show, myself and James and Kevin, and that didn't last, but it's great. I love seeing it. You don't see it enough live as well in clubs and stuff. And
yeah, I've got so many opinions on this as well, because I just think sketch comedy is so good as a training ground, or like a space to experiment and throw ideas around, and eventually something might stick. So like from Chewing the Fat, we got Still Game. Exactly, and there's so many examples of that. Like Rabsy Nesbitt was from Naked Video. So without that space to throw ideas around, like,
I think
where's
it's
the next?
Yeah, to develop things from. And with stand-up, you can be thinking about things or writing it down. But with sketch comedy, the stuff I loved the most with James and Kevin would be sitting around going, what about a guy that thinks he's another guy's shadow? Or just like coming out with weird ideas. So yeah, big fan of sketch comedy, character comedy. Much harder to do it though if you're on the circuit trying to do like pubs and clubs. Because the amount of times I walked out on stage as Damien Crowe with an accordion at like a working men's club, and have the people looking at me like, what is happening here? We just wanted to hear some cock jokes and you're dressed like a goth with an accordion. That was tough.
Yeah, I can relate to that for sure.
So good to do character stuff that doesn't require too much costume.
Yeah, I know. You just feel like you're a bit extra, like carrying props around and costumes, but I'm just a bit extra. I can't help it.
Gotta do it.
Yeah.
When it comes to this podcast and the format, we always like to ask at first what you are like generally in terms of, are you someone that holds on to regrets and lets them fester, or can you let them go like a water off a duck's back?
I think I've got better in recent years. I'm more kind of, I like to remind myself that we're all going to die.
Yes.
And actually, it doesn't matter. Like, embarrassment is a waste of time.
Finally, somebody said
it. Don't know if you, spoiler alert, but this ends. So there's no point letting it fester. And actually, you can harness it as a comedian and use it as a positive.
I tell you what, you're coming out with t-shirts left, right and centre. Good cunt award. We're all going to die. Just, there's no bullshit here. You're cutting through everything. That being said, I'd imagine that there is things that you were able to pick out.
Yeah.
Even if now you've learnt to harness them for good or let them go. And when we look at a childhood one, where we're just young, precious people, things can affect us. Was there one in particular that really stood out for you?
Yeah, there's one. I was lying in bed last night thinking about this actually. And the one that I want to talk about is when I was in school. I don't know about you. When I was in school, there were quite segregated friend groups, right? So there was like the cool kids, and then I was in the sort of geek, like just keep your head down, study. And there wasn't really much movement between friend groups,
once you
right?
were in your group.
It was pretty fixed.
Yeah.
But when I was doing standard grade art,
Yep.
which I got a 1 for.
Hey,
Thank you.
come on.
When I was in art, you didn't choose where you sat, so everyone was mixed up.
Right.
And I was sat beside this girl who was in a different friend group to mine. But from sitting beside her, I realised we had loads in common. We both loved Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Oh, my days.
We had a similar sense of humour.
Breaking down barriers.
It was, exactly. And we got on so well. And, that was our moment. Every week in art, we would be hanging out and, intergroup relations were being built. Anyway, it was my birthday. And so I must have been 13, 14. That's the age that you do standard grades, isn't it?
Dangerous time.
And I had a birthday party and I didn't invite her. Oh, no. And I think after that, it just wasn't the same between us. And that was my opportunity to be brave.
You could have been the one.
And to bring her over into my friendship group or vice versa. And
others might have integrated.
Yeah. But it was just, I don't know. I remember there was one girl at school who used to be in sort of like semi-geeky group, and one day she started wearing makeup and she went and sat with the popular girls, and the kind of fracturing that happened and like the gossip and the response to that was so intense. So I think maybe I was just scared of kind of disrupting the natural order of things.
The politics of being a school pupil and friendship groups is frightening.
Yeah.
But then also funny to think you're like, I might have done this or that, and the amount of stuff we still blame ourselves for but then you go, I was just a kid.
Yeah, I still genuinely feel guilty about it, and it's ridiculous.
I could have changed the landscape of friendship of that whole school.
Exactly.
There's a lot of pressure on yourself. But I can see the opportunity was there. And this is such a daft analogy, but I couldn't help think of, I don't know if you were a big Friends fan.
Oh, yeah.
I loved Friends growing up, but when Ross is trying to get the blue blazers and the red blazers to mingle in the cafeteria at the museum.
I don't remember that one, but I'm going to go with it.
But it doesn't actually end that well for him either as well.
Okay.
He tries to get them to mix, but...
doesn't happen.
All the red root. I'll stop talking about it. Great episodes. And are you still in touch with anyone that was in your group from then? Do you think they knew about this or remembered? Have you ever said, there was a time I actually nearly segued with the girl from a different group? Are people aware?
I kept it completely to myself. I carried that weight of guilt on my own. And yeah, I'm still in touch with a few girls from the geek group.
The geek group.
But the girl that I didn't invite to my birthday, I'm not. I think I don't even know if I have her on Facebook. I've seen her in the street once, but I didn't speak to her. It's just sad, isn't it? Sorry, I know this is meant to be a comedy podcast, but I'm quite sad about it.
We're just going to make this story the clip in the hopes that she will find it one day.
The thing is, she'll probably have no idea. She probably actually didn't give a shit about the party. She's like, I'm not going to this fucking loser's birthday.
She's like, I liked her in that one class. I pretended, but just let me borrow her paintbrushes. Yeah. No, I'm sure that was it, because it's such a nice story there, that the potential... the smeds and the smooths for any other parents out there that have children. That's another example of the kind of Romeo and Juliet thing. Yeah. So close, but a lot of pressure to put on yourself to think you could have done it. I know. But I can see why you would remember now.
Yeah, and you just wonder, where you would go in life after that. If I had invited her, would we still be friends now? Would she be in my life? Yeah. Would we have... You just don't know.
And do you know what, though? You might have saved her then having a similar conundrum, because she might have been like, I've had an invite to a girl in a different group's birthday party,
Yeah.
and then her mates might have given her different peer pressure, like, you're not going to that birthday party,
Yeah.
are you? Or,
Yeah.
so maybe you've done yourselves. It's a blessing.
Maybe I was being kind, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just trying to put a positive spin.
Yeah,
on it,
yeah.
I think she was probably crushed.
Yeah, I think
Wait,
so.
and was it a kind of cool party as well? Was it like
No. I think we were doing like karaoke in my mum and dad's house.
okay?
where I
Well, no,
lived
it was a
in my
blessing
bedroom.
then. It was a blessing.
Yeah, yeah. I did
Because
actually.
that might have ended the friendship.
It's possible. Yeah, yeah. So, yeah. But I'm ready to let go and
Good.
to.
Again, another great example of we got rid of I used to bring in a dead flower every week and get you to throw it in the bin.
Okay.
It was just, I had to stop just
quite
picking
brutal.
up dead flowers.
Was it already dead? Did you purposely purchase?
Well, we had
living-
a set of dead flowers that stayed in that old stand building for about 6 months. I mean, they were really dead.
Do you know
We
what?
really held on to them. Started to feel bad about them even.
This is controversial, but I hate getting flowers
Oh,
because you're creating work for me.
it's upkeep.
Yeah,
The start of them with the cutting and the food. And
yeah. Ripping off the leaves, cutting the stems, putting the food in, put it in the vase, changing the water. Like you're just creating a job for me.
Yeah, if the letterbox ones as well, it's like, oh,
I had that once. Someone did the letterbox thing, but I missed the delivery.
Yeah.
So it was at a really busy time. So I think they were like, I was really stressed out, and someone was like, "I'll get her flowers to cheer her up." It was a really lovely idea, but it came when I was basically never home, and then I missed the delivery, and then had to go to the post office to pick them up, and they were already dead.
I mean, what's the point?
I know.
If you really want to give someone flowers, you need to give them, don't you? I mean,
Or dry flowers. I
dry
suppose.
flowers,
Yeah.
or just even. My wife actually similarly has a view on that as well, especially if we're busy and we've got a baby, and it's lovely to receive flowers, but when there's a lot of extra work involved with it, I got her some little tip for anyone else looking for an idea. Biscuiteers, which is a lovely biscuit mate, and they do like a box of flower shaped biscuits.
That's more like it.
You know,
Yeah, I like
everyone
that.
wins because then you get to eat some as well.
That's a great idea.
I don't know what the show is anymore. But speaking of deliveries, I feel like you also mentioned that we had a kind of similar thing with, you noticed that I'd posted about getting a delivery dropped off that someone, I haven't spoken about this yet, and I can't believe how common it was, but I think it was Amazon, DPD, it was the Amazon delivery driver had left a package for me in a bin, in the blue recycling bin.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't, I thought that can't have happened to anyone else, and I posted about it and everyone's like, it happens all the time.
Yeah.
And
Usually it's every, isn't it?
my bin's been taken before when it was in, and the strange places that people have told me about now is mind-boggling.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, I mean, the comment I left on your post was I'd had a delivery the previous day or something, and it was Amazon as well.
Yeah.
But I had a note on my account to say it was delivered, parcel was handed to receptionist.
Yeah, it was.
I was like, I know I'm putting it out there that I'm some kind of like West End, like bourgeoisie, but I don't have a friggin' receptionist.
That's mad. And
Who is this?
Did you ever find out who it was?
No, I had to put a claim in and get refunded because who knows who that receptionist is.
I love
Bizarre.
that. Well, this is a good start. Listen, the childhood one, I feel like I can see why it could potentially haunt, but you didn't do anything wrong, and I think for the best overall.
Okay.
It was for the best.
Okay.
I don't think you then trying to get this cool cat girl to sing an Islands in the Stream duet with her
How did you know it was that?
would have done you any favours. So let's move into a career one, if there was one that picked up. And are you someone that had loads of different jobs when you were kind of coming through, or did you go from whatever it was you were doing before comedy straight into that?
Yes, so I've got two careers still, really. So I work, I'm originally a scientist and I worked in zoology.
Oh, yeah.
And I still work at university and like community engagement stuff.
Cool.
But then comedy has been kind of, still is alongside that. So I'm always tired. But in terms of regrets, career regrets, if we're thinking in the kind of comedy side of things, I think one of my biggest regrets, again, this is quite sad, not funny. I've got a funny one as well. Maybe I'll do both. But I think I first did stand up in 2011, right, which is a long time ago.
Yeah.
and I got really into it. I used to run a night at the Stand called Bright Club. It was ran for
Bright
years.
Club?
Yeah, so I
No
started
way.
that.
Wow, I wonder if we met years ago. I certainly.
I think we got you to. I think I got you to host.
I
Maybe.
did do it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I definitely did it at least once, maybe even twice over the years.
Yeah.
It was a cool, really cool night.
It's-
Because then everyone had to. The idea of the night was they would do comedy about what they were studying or working on.
Exactly.
I actually specifically remember a night talking about lasers because someone was doing something about lasers, and I was
Yeah.
like, it blew my mind. Like, this isn't interesting to me, but I just remember asking them loads of questions about lasers. So that was a cool idea for a night.
It was great
That
fun.
was your thing. Wow.
Because I was involved in it. The first time it came to Scotland there was a night in Edinburgh, and I was a PhD student, so I did it
Right.
there about crayfish, and then I started it up in Glasgow, first at the Admiral,
Yeah.
and then it moved to the Stand, and then it ran for years.
I've got to tell you, there's not enough crayfish-based comedy out
Well,
there.
yeah, it's an empty niche.
You know?
So maybe I'll get back on that. But my regret though, I was doing that, and then that was 2011, and then up to about 2014 when the Indie Ref was on.
Oh, yeah.
I started really gigging all the time, mostly political stuff motivated by referendum. And then 2015, Scotland voted against independence, and I just found it really hard to do political comedy anymore because I was just depressed. And then I got in a relationship, and I just gave up comedy, full stop, from 2015 up until pretty much the pandemic. So about 8 years, I just left it completely. And so my regret is, if I just kept that up, I'd be so much better now, you know? But I just for whatever reason was just crushed to the point where I was like, I can't be funny about this anymore.
Isn't funny.
Yeah.
But at the same time, stopping and then coming back to it, you probably came back into comedy with just a totally different mindset and fresh, and might not have had the same ideas. And
I suppose, yeah. I mean, I was very different in my late 20s to I'm now 40, so I've got different life experience to maybe talk about. But you do feel like you're starting from scratch a bit. It doesn't really count for anything if I'm like, I actually did this a long time ago. No one gives a shit. Like, they don't care. You're brand new, you're starting from scratch. So so it's hard.
But comedy is one of the only careers, I think, where actually being new, or in this case I guess thought of as newer, is actually much better. Because I think it's big shout out to Elaine Malcolmson, who I'm sure has a great line about comedy being this awful thing where the longer you've been in it, the less impressive it sounds. Like if in any other industry you can be like, I've been in the police force 20 years, something like that. Good on you. But if you're like, I've been doing comedy for 20 years, it's kind of like people are like, never heard of you, mate. Like,
right.
At the start it's quite cool. You're like, 6 years in, and it's like, but after 20 years it almost becomes sad.
Oh, don't say that.
That's what I find.
Don't say that.
After 20 years in comedy. Like, people, really? 20 years? There's definitely a point where it becomes less impressive all of a sudden.
I guess when you start, you're like the shiny new thing. So everyone's excited, like, oh, who's this? But it's keeping it up, isn't it?
Yeah, aye.
Keeping it fresh.
But yeah, who knows what you might have done, I guess, as well.
I know. I think I just, like, I got in a relationship, and I'm not blaming it on that relationship at all, but I think I just kind of started to kind of pander to his interests a bit more. Like I did like hill walking and stuff, which
damn you hill walking man that stifled her creativity.
Destroyed those friggin' Monroes. Like I just started to spend my weekends doing stuff that looking back was not me really. Yeah. So it was really only pandemic time that I was like, I think I've always had this niggle to do comedy, but it's also just like the confidence to like be persistent and keep doing it that I struggled with. So
yeah, we were talking about that last week with our previous guest, not half an hour ago, about that thing. Especially I feel like in Scotland people are less inclined still to kind of get into the arts or to do anything different, because it's seen as just a bit like,
you get a real job. Why do you think I became a scientist? It's like you're just in denial your whole life that actually I want to do something silly.
And it's amazing how much the pandemic, and it's interesting to hear that's, in terms of the video and doing stuff, I think a lot of people really found their own voice during that, because there wasn't the outside pressures and even having to go to live gigs and circuit, because it's like, well, what do I want to do that's funny? And finding your own audience.
Yeah.
It's been great. And I know Kim Blythe spoke a lot about that as well during the pandemic. It was a lot of the videos. Yeah, so it's kind of helpful.
Completely. I think it was a really, obviously, horrific time for so many people, but at the same time, I'm so grateful to have had that pause.
Yeah.
Because when in life do you get everything, you're slamming on the brakes, everything stops? Like, that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And that's when you start to reflect on your life and, like, what do I like doing? And, you know, that's when, actually, like, yeah, Kim's a great example. There were so many comedians that suddenly found their voice and came up, and they had a captive audience, literally, because we were all just doom scrolling. Like, we needed entertainment, so it was like the prime time to do stuff online.
Oh God, yeah, we could use another one of them if anyone's got any, I don't know, diseased
any
bats kicking about.
viruses on the go. Yeah.
Oh, another wee reset. I think I've spoken about this before, but I always like recommending. There's a podcast. I think I'm going to get it wrong. It's either called the 3-day effect or the 5-day effect, which is all about the fact that we are living in a very unnatural way in built up places and the phones and the screens. And these group of psychologists took people from like the most traumatic areas of life, you know, war vets and domestic violence survivors, and took them out into the wild and took away all devices, and it was just nature, and then scientifically proved that, you know, your brain actually slows down, that they're actually operating kind of like a hard drive trying too much because there's too much going on. And it's like everyone, I mean, it's very difficult to try and achieve that in terms of the way everyone lives lives. People have busy lives, but if you're able to switch off for even 3 days, literally helps your brain.
I could believe that. I mean, we did have that in lockdown a bit, because because everything was shut, it was like, you know, I looked at trees, and the first time you could buy a coffee, I was like, oh, this is amazing. And, you know, you stopped and you had conversations, because, I don't know, I was locked down alone most of the time. So when I saw somebody, even when I was getting a coffee, you just pay attention to people more, and you everything is slower, and
the engagement and
the little things matter.
Look at
But
this.
then now we're back at everything's like,
Oh, I know.
you know,
Trying to
100
make up
miles
for the
an hour
time
again.
you lost and all that.
Exactly.
I always feel, but like I've spoken about this in stand-up, so apologies, but one of the biggest signs to me of how much we're just anxious and like can't even take a moment is at the end of a Netflix episode where it's like next episode starts in like 5,
3,
4, and you're like, no,
Yeah.
no, you can't even wait the 5 seconds. It's pathetic.
It's
I'm awful.
intense.
Anyway, enough about our own problems.
So yeah, God.
But that's interesting though. I mean, that's and it feels like, if anything, maybe you've got quite a good balance then for having a foot still in 2 different realms of jobs as well.
Yeah,
Taking it
I mean,
back
I've
to
just snuck out just now on a wee lunch break.
Is that right?
You know, but yeah, it's there's pros and cons to having 2 jobs, isn't there?
Yeah.
Because I think one of the pros is, because I have a job and I'm full time and I'm getting money from that, I can be quite selective about what comedy I do.
Yeah.
And I can push back in
You
situations.
wouldn't have to do, for example, a random gig in Kilwinning.
Not necessarily, no.
If only we were all that lucky.
But, you know, I have to sit and answer emails from sometimes quite entitled academics, and really lovely ones as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and you know, and it's just, I have to be so boundaried with my time as well if I want to do comedy. And actually, again, not to bang on about the lockdown, but I think post-lockdown, I was like, I need to really protect my time here. If I really want to do comedy, I need to not be toxic and at work, working late. I'm contracted to do a 9 to 5. I'm going to do a 9 to 5, and you can say no to stuff and not overwork yourself.
That's good. I feel like people, and even my wife, who wouldn't mind me saying, but trying to find boundaries at work is hard, to be able to switch off, and everyone's almost expected to work longer than they've been asked to. And
join a union, I would say.
Yeah.
So.
Listen, I feel like we're putting out a lot of fire here on this podcast, tackling the big issues.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a regret, but again, I feel like it was quite a good one in terms of, it would have been interesting to see where you would have been and what you were doing, but I think it was good for where you ended up. Let's move into your next one, which is the relationship one.
Yeah.
And now it feels like you've already got one in the fact that you went Monroe bagging for longer than you should have.
Yeah.
But was there something else that's jumped out at you?
Well, I mean, there's so many things I could share. Like almost the entirety of my 20s, I was single, and I have so many examples of just like failed attempts to impress boys. So many I could choose to share with you. But there's one in particular that is quite unhinged, that I think would be good to tell you about.
You pretended to be a rat in front of them.
Yeah, and it just, apparently they were not into that at all.
The person that pretends or thinks that they're secretly a rat, by the way, as an aside, which I feels like in certain circles is even bigger than West End Mum.
It's done bigger views than my
so
West
cool.
End Mum, which actually I've got something for you.
No way. What's this? Woman who is secretly a rat. I don't believe that. That is incredible.
I've got an alien themed one as well. How many A's did you get in your hires?
How many
A's did you get in your hires?
I get none.
Oh well, not anymore. Five A's in his hires. Because that's Alien, the West End Mum, our big thing is boasting about how many.
Do you know what's funny? In my hires, I only did 5th year, and then I'd moved to America, and so it was technically a different school system. We didn't do hires, but even from the 3 I got before I left my Scottish high school, I remember taking such delight in saying to my mum later on in life that I was doing I just started doing like ScotScore and stuff, and everyone was talking about their hires, me, my brother, and my sister, and she was like, "What did you get again?" And I was like, "Well, it might not sound great, but in a way it was quite funny because I got 3 and I got a B, and a B, and a C." And I was like,
nice.
And she didn't register that at all. She just went, "You only get 3 hires?" I was like, "Yeah, sorry." But that's all I got, and then an SAT score of 1100. Yeah, man. But these are great. But the reason I was trying to crowbar in the fact about the rat video as well, because bizarrely, I did Panto a year in Ayr with a good friend of mine, Gillian. Shout out to Gillian, who was a great actor as well. And she, every so often, would sometimes pretend she was a rat.
No way.
And she couldn't believe it as well. And she was like, "This is someone else that pretends they're a rat."
There's so many of
to
us
an
out
extreme. It was like you could start a whole group. And I was like, how many people are out here pretending that they're rats? But yeah, I think she would concede that you as a rat is like top tier ratting.
It's a skill I didn't realise resonated so much with so many, particularly women.
It's so funny. It's never the things you think that are going to like...
No. I mean, I think I'd had a glass of wine or something when I did it, and the video was just me talking shit, and then suddenly gnashing my teeth. Anyway, it's like you can spend ages crafting a perfect sketch, and it bombs, but when you just do a throwaway thing, that's the thing that resonates.
But I think the one I've seen that I was just like, that's commitment now. It's like when you're swimming on holiday and then you're still being a rat swimming.
Yeah. Because rats can swim, and they're very smart.
Yeah, don't forget it, man. We had a rat problem. That's a different story.
Me too. They got into my car. But anyway, that's the whole thing.
So the relationship thing you were saying.
Yes, okay, sorry. Unhinged thing that I did. So in my early 20s, there was a guy that I fancied who was tall. He went to the art school. He wasn't remotely interested. So naturally I was obsessed. And we used to hang out in groups and drink together, have parties and stuff. And one time he crashed on my couch and fell asleep. And I thought it would be hilarious to pile cushions on top of him. Sorry, this is quite a long story, but I've started. Please. I piled cushions on top of him like a sort of kind of like buckaroo. Yeah. And I took a photo and I put the photo on Facebook and I captioned it, and I'm going to use an alternative name to his actual name, Benji Jenga. And I was like, oh, this is so funny, Benji Jenga. And I tried to make it an in-joke between us, to have some kind of connection. Anyway, fast forward a few weeks later, and Benji announced that he had been offered a job in London. Oh. So he was moving away. Oh. So obviously I'm devastated.
Yeah, no more Benji Jenga.
No more Benji Jenga. But I was like, okay, I need to come up with a leaving gift that will keep me in his mind. Yeah. That'll be so thoughtful and beautiful that he'll be like, why am I moving to London when this incredible person's here? So This is what I did, and this is where it gets weird. I went on his Facebook and I downloaded a photo of him, and then I used Photoshop to cut out his head.
I'm already scared.
And then, yeah, I know, sorry. And then I printed his head out like 100 times. And then I cut out all the individual heads. Then I bought a Jenga set. And then I got some glue. And then I glued his head to every single piece of the Jenga set. Thus creating, drum roll, Benji Jenga. And I was like, this is so funny. Took me hours.
Wow.
I did check with his best friend. I was like, do you think this is a good idea? And he was like, yeah, it's funny.
He was going, yeah, and then going, I can't believe she's doing this.
Yeah. So you let me go through with it. And then I made this gift, and then I went along to Benji's leaving party. Oh. So it was all of his friends.
Oh, it's not even a private.
We're all drinking. And then I present him with the gift.
Yeah.
And he opens it. And then it's just sort of silence. People are looking at it like, what the fuck? And then his friend broke the silence and was like, that looks like it took a really long time to make. No. And then it was just crickets.
No.
And I drank a lot that night.
Oh, Zara, oh no.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know what to say to you about that one. That's tough.
I thought
what
it was
commitment though, and
yeah. I mean, when I commit to something, I follow through.
You thought it was a grand romantic gesture and not
cutting
a kind
out
of
his head.
deranged.
I went through so many photos to find the perfect picture of his head.
No,
but it wasn't. I mean, he kept it.
That's something. So he could tell other people the story. Probably.
I did get in touch with him recently. Because I like to be ethical. I like to check in. I'm like, are you okay if I tell this story?
Yeah, yeah.
And he was fine with it. And I was like, you don't still have it, do you? Because I kind of wanted to have
a
photo of it, but he doesn't have it anymore, or he's lost it, which is sad.
I tell you what, very thoughtful of you to check with people before you tell stories about them.
Yeah.
Nod to previous episodes.
Oh, okay.
That's incredible. Do you think that the awkwardness when it was revealed what it was that the whole Benji Jenga hadn't even really he didn't even put two and two together, like the couch cushions thing hadn't even.
Yeah, because I had tried to manufacture that as like an in-joke, so people wouldn't even have known about that Facebook photo or the cushions. Probably he didn't even remember. He's just like, what the fuck is this? So yeah, that's probably did factor in.
You're like, no, it's about that time, or I kind of partially smothered you with.
It's always good when you have to explain, isn't it? Yeah. Remember, I was watching you sleeping, and I took a photo of you.
I can't. That would have been so good to have had a picture of the Jenga with all the little pictures. Wow.
I do have a photo of the Jenga set.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, so I do have that somewhere, but
that's wild.
Yeah.
What a gift.
I know.
But do you know what? That's such a nice thing to do as well. I mean, that's a thoughtful gift.
I think so.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just took me years to find someone to match my freak, as the youth say. But that is one of a wide selection of stories from my 20s of really fucking crazy things that I did. I don't know what was going through my head, but
it's good that at least a lot of people might have had an idea to do something, but again, just been too scared. But that was obviously the creative in you as well, was pushing to come out, and maybe
that's it. Yeah, exactly.
And what was it you say the kids say now about matching your
matching my freak?
Is that what they say?
I think is that the correct usage? I
don't know, but it reminded me of, because I would tell a story often about how me and my now wife, when we started dating, we did this thing where we would pretend we were dead, and it's a whole big thing, and it's not freaky, but it is about, and I would always say that one of my favourite quotes was always about, I'm paraphrasing here, but it's about finding someone as weird as you, and when you find the same person on the same length of weirdness, you call it love. And I think that's a good thing. That imagine he'd went, I can't believe you've made me Benji Jenga. You'd have been like, brilliant. Because even if he'd liked the gift, he might not have really got it. Yeah,
and I think I'm lucky now. I'm definitely with someone who understands the weirdness and has reciprocated. Like, I don't know if I've got time to tell another very quick story, but So years and years ago, my mum discovered, you know, these websites where you can get a photo printed on everything, like a mouse mat, a cushion, whatever.
She went for it.
She got obsessed with this. And at the time I was single, right? And it was Christmas. She got my brother and his then partner a snow globe with a really cute photo of the two of them.
Yeah.
And I was single. She got a snow globe of me on my own. She also got a cushion just with my face on it. I was
For
like,
you.
For me. I was like, okay, what am I going to do with that?
Cuddling yourself.
Well, like, have people around, welcome, take a seat on my face, like, make yourself comfy. So that was kind of a brutal gift exchange that Christmas. Anyway, I told my partner about that. And for Christmas a couple of years ago, he got me a snow globe with the two of us in it.
That's it.
Isn't that lovely?
That's perfect.
So...
See, that's when it's great.
Found the right person there.
That's good. Got the snow globe. That's the end of the Hallmark movie, isn't it?
Isn't it?
The gift.
It's beautiful. I mean, actually, it's probably more like romantic than weird, to be fair.
Yeah, that's nice.
I think I probably still am the weird one.
Yeah.
But he's accepting of it, so it's okay.
Yeah. You're like, then I stuck our faces on the snow globe. Just so that...
Yeah.
Well, they're good. They're excellent ones. We've covered our three main ones that we usually do. And then I usually ask, just in case there's anything else from anything that, you know, you care to share or want to get off your chest.
I do have one, yeah, that came to mind straight away.
Oof.
So, many years ago, 2010,
Nice.
I was in Sainsbury's in Partick.
Yep.
Where I live. And, well, no, I shouldn't dox myself. Where I lived. And it was New Year's Eve and it was really, really busy.
Yeah.
Because everyone's trying to buy their booze really quickly. So I was there and I was in the booze aisle and then I saw this guy appear beside me and I looked and I was like, oh, he looks a bit like Elijah Wood. But obviously Elijah Wood, he's not going to be in Partick on New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
So I got my cider and I went up to pay for it. And then I saw at the checkout Dominic Monaghan and Billy Boyd.
Oh.
And then Elijah went up and joined them. And I was like, okay, no, I think that is literally Elijah Wood. So, but nobody was reacting.
No.
I was like, am I hallucinating? But
you're looking around for
typical
Gandalf.
Glaswegians, they're just like, getting the booze, getting my steak pie or whatever.
Yeah.
No one was paying any attention to them. And I was like, there's literally 3 hobbits at the checkout.
Bloody hell.
Am I hallucinating? And I phoned a friend. I was like, you've got to get yourself over here. Now, I'm a huge fan of the Lord of the Rings films. Like, they are just a fundamental fabric of my being and personality. So I cannot overemphasize how big this was for me. So I was freaking out. And my regret is I didn't speak to them. I didn't say anything. What I did do, which again doesn't help my image as a total creep, was take a photo on my really shitty flip phone, like 2020 flip phone, like very grainy. And I did upload it. As you can, I've got a blog somewhere where I used to log everyday references to Lord of the Rings. Again, I'm normal. I'm totally normal. It was called Mordor. .blogspot.com. So I uploaded the photo there and it's really, really grainy. You can just sort of make out a man who's Dominic Monaghan. But yeah, I'm like, when am I ever going to see 3 hobbits in my local supermarket again?
Yeah, that isn't. I mean, it really was them as well.
It was because I googled after and it turned out Billy Boyd got married in Oranmore over that Christmas period. So they must have just all travelled over.
Hung on for an opportunity.
I know.
That is why I feel bad for you now, even just knowing how big a fan you are.
I know.
But it's funny because I feel like I've had a couple of moments like that where and then even Eleanor's been like, you should go and say hello, or if it's someone I've liked, but because it's almost too big, I've not wanted to. And then I've tried to like make up for it by making a point of going up to people that, this sounds terrible because I do think he's great, but when we were going on holiday once and we were at Glasgow airport, Eleanor was like, oh, that's Tom, the Olympic swimmer, and he'd won gold.
Daly?
No, not the diver, an actual swimmer.
Okay.
My wife used to be a swimmer. But this is the thing, so I was aware of him but didn't know him greatly.
Yeah.
My wife liked him because he also did Strictly, I think, as well. And I was like, oh, maybe we should come and say hello to him, you know. And she's like, no. But then we actually left and I was like, do you know what? No. And I went all the way back and kind of made it out like I was a big swimming fan. And I was like, yeah, great to see you. But I was kind of like, oh, you don't get to meet an Olympian every day. And
Yeah.
I think it's because I was trying to practice for like, you know, if it was like, I don't know, Tom Hanks, I probably would have just not done it.
Because what you meant to say anyway, I suppose, like, I don't, what would I have said to Elijah Wood?
Yeah.
Like, I can't say anything about the films or the ring because he'll get that all the time. Like,
Yeah. Maybe you could have, I don't know, shared your cider with him or something.
yeah. Or what was it?
You could have told them about your Mordor
Mordor. Yeah, check out my blog. Because I had started this blog because I just noticed that every single day something would come up that would be some kind of Lord of the Rings reference.
Yeah.
And I was like, I need to start documenting this because I remember like going to IKEA one day with my friend and we were getting plants and I picked up this plant and the Latin name was Hobbitus. It was just shit like that and it was happening every single day. And maybe I was looking for it.
But it was like destiny.
But I obviously ended the blog after that because I was like, well, I'm not really going to have a reference like that come up that's going to top seeing.
Have you ever had
Hobbits.
the opportunity to see them again, or have you ever like?
No, I mean, I know that Billy Boyd played in bands,
That's right,
and I'm sure
yeah.
someone I know went to see him play in Box,
Right.
and Dominic Monaghan was in the audience, but
all three of them together
all
like that.
three together. I know.
God.
No Sean Astin though.
And you think of anyone, he should be there.
Yeah.
By his side.
Yeah, exactly. But
That's wild.
I don't know. Maybe if I put that out there.
I was trying to think of some sort of like Sainsbury's based pun you could have really stunned him with or something. But
I know.
what's Sainsbury's big thing? I can't even think right
Taste
now.
the diff. No.
Taste the difference.
No.
That sounds.
What's their slogan?
Yeah, you know, like what?
Every little helps. Is that Asda?
Asda.
What's Tesco?
Tesco. Yeah.
This is scintillating stuff.
Someone, although when the Rude Cookies cone or the Magda lady was on, we couldn't think of the word acrostic. So thank you to Frankie, because then of course that went out today, and someone was like, I was screaming acrostic as we sat there going, what's the word that means a poem, but it's the first letter neither of us could. So if someone will be able to tell us.
Rude Cookies made a cookie of me as a rat, and it's fucking brilliant.
What a great link there.
Still got it. I've not
That's
eaten
great.
it. Should have rat, if I was a true rat, that would be long gone, but...
Zara, what have you got, if anything in particular, coming up that you might want to tell our listeners and viewers about?
So I'm doing something in May in Stirling, but I don't know the date and I
Right.
don't know what it's called.
Check it out.
And I'm doing something here at the stand in June
Lovely.
for Westfest,
Oh, yeah.
fundraiser. So it'll be Aileen's first visit to the stand.
Wow.
So I don't know the date of the 20-something.
Right.
But the best way to keep up is just to follow me on
Yeah.
the internet.
She'll be very pleased that this is a new venue and a bit more grandeur.
Yeah, she's come to endorse it officially. Yeah.
Wouldn't have gone downstairs into the basement.
No, she absolutely would not. So, yes, I think it's a much more theatrical space, isn't it? So it's more befitting of a woman of her stature. So I look forward to that.
Well, we look forward to seeing all the stuff you've got coming up, and I'm sure there'll be new projects, ventures.
And you can also, I've got a sketch show on BBC iPlayer.
Of course, yes.
It's good for her, so please watch that.
Because that was at the start of this year, but I know it'll be on for a year, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Really?
so that on the iPlayer it says this kind of vague, like, available for over a year. And I'm like,
yeah.
what does that mean? I don't know, but it's still there.
Check it out. I feel like at the time when that was happening as well, people were saying it had been like a ridiculous, like over 10 years since, maybe Karen Dunbar had a sketch show, and it was kind of mad to think it had been that long since there'd been a female comic performer and writer that had been given a show. So brilliant.
And there's some nice people in it, like Kim Blythe and Sophie Rose McKagan, Stuart McComrie, and Kirsty Wark and Aidan Moffat.
Wow, no one left out.
Something for everyone.
Thank you very much for coming on. A big thanks as always to people that watch, listen, however you get this. Big thanks to Sean in the corner that you never see but often hear. Chris Thorburn, our editor. The Stand Comedy Club, of course, who are in association with. One more plug, I guess, for the live show that's on that very memorable date of Wednesday the 20th of May. See you next time.